When a Man Accuses You of Nagging by feminist Valkyrie. We've all heard the bullshit that men ignore because women nag. Men just don't know how to have a conversation, and women should pity the poor dears and leave them alone. Women want a talking relationship in which they change the man into a conversation-obsessed woman and don't allow him to be himself. The poor dear. What is really happening is this. The woman is talking not because she is nagging, but because the man is shutting off and not answering questions. He is not answering legitimate questions because he is trying to keep something secret. He's trying to keep it secret because he's doing something wrong. One partner's stonewalling forces the other partner to ask more and more questions to address the necessary issue. The stonewalling partner labels this nagging, even though in context it is really not, and the questioner begins to have low self-esteem and becomes ashamed every time she feels the need to get info or clarification from her partner, no matter how normal or average or common her level of questioning is, nor how necessary it is within the context of the particular conversation or situation. Since more men than women behave in a nasty way, surprise, they are more likely to become secretive in order to hide responsibility for that nastiness. Since they become secretive, they become allergic to questions, even normal and necessary levels of questioning. They label their wife a nag to shut her up, and label all women as nags, even though the women are not asking any greater level of questions than a man would in the same situation. Similarly, whites often call blacks nags or troublemakers as a whole, because since white people harm black people with their behavior, naturally the blacks are the ones who complain and ask questions. Same with the Jews. Ever hear of the complaining Jew stereotype? This is because Jews were pushed around in Christian Europe, and it was in their interest to discuss it, while it is in Christians' interest to ignore them. The abuser is benefited by silence while the victim is benefited by openness and discussion, so naturally the victim talks more than the abuser. Talking, furthermore, is not a female thing in general. It is a necessary human tool. How can information be conveyed without talking? Nor is it even true that females talk more than males in any context. Studies show that men talk more than women. It's just that men are more annoyed at women talking than they are at men talking, and more than women are annoyed at either men's or women's talking. The husband feels more annoyed at his wife speaking, so he twists reality and labels her behavior as more annoying, calls it nagging. Not because her behavior is different than anyone else's behavior, but because his reaction to it or feeling about it is different. This is lying. Your feelings about something do not change what the thing is. If you start to feel annoyed at me speaking, this does not mean that I have started speaking more or have started speaking in a different way. It's you who have changed, not me or my behavior. Of course, the man can be the one gaslighted by the woman too, and there are men who are victims and are accused of nagging. But mostly it is a greater number of men who stonewall than women, because a greater amount of men behave in ways that cause the person living with them to have to complain. So this is why I titled this piece, When a Man Says You Nag.